Well, I'm finally going to get a chance to work on my bucket a little bit. It's been about 2 weeks since I've had a chance to work on it. It's been crazy busy at the shop, and I've had more service calls in the last 2 weeks than I've had in months. You know, it's a good thing, but I just can't get time to do anything I need to do. So it's been so long since I worked on this thing, I can't remember if I mentioned that I was planning on taking the pin out of my tilt bucket to put in here so I could get an accurate measurement. It's got to be 10 1/4 inches from pin to pin, you know, center of pin to pin. But my tilt bucket is on the excavator right now, and I'm going to have to use it tomorrow, so I don't want to take it off and go through all that trouble of putting it back in. So I'm going to try something that my dad showed me a long time ago. I guess I was probably still in high school when he showed me this, but we're going to try it and see. So what I'm going to do on this pin is I'm going to take black tape and I'm going to wrap around this until I get close to the right measurement. It's not going to be exact, but I can get it pretty close. And it's not going to matter if there's a little bit of play in this anyway, because it's going in a quick connect. And quick connects are notorious for being loose anyway. Even if they're brand new, they've got some play in them. So you just take the tape and wrap around it. And then measure it as you go. See, I went just a little over. So just back off on it. Oh, there goes my tape in the floor. So that's pretty close to what it's got to be. It's a little over, but like I said, I made these holes just a tad bit over so I'm gonna put grease fittings in them, and so I made them a little bit over. So the problem is those bushings are so wide, I'm going to have to put two strips of tape, because my bushings have to be fairly squared off. I got that one almost first try. Like I said though, this is not going to be completely accurate, but it'll be close enough. That's perfect right there. Yeah, I messed that up. Okay, let's try it, see what it does. My inside diameter on these is a little bit rough, so the tape's probably sticking on it. This tape was in my service truck too, so it's been a little hot. It's sticky. I probably shouldn't have done that. Sorry, I know this is probably boring. There we go. So now I'll be able to get a somewhat accurate measurement on distance between the pins, and I'll be able to almost perfectly line the bushings up too. So I'm gonna work with this and try to get these lined up, and then we'll start tacking it on. Okay, so I've got my giant calipers here, and then I also have my dividers. So between the two of them, I should be able to get my spacing right. So let's check here. This side right here is dead on as far as spacing this way. So let me put me another magnet in here, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so it didn't move. Whoa. Yeah, I moved it a little bit. Of course, like I said, it ain't gonna matter. That quick connect so wore out, ain't nothing you could do for it. But I'm not going to replace it because those things are about $5,000. See, this side's off about a 1/4 inch, so. About a 1/16 more. A little bit. Okay, so that side's in too. See if this side moved. And it did, it moved a little bit. The problem with magnets when you use them like that, you move one side and the other side tries to follow it. See, that side moved again too. Okay, so that's perfect right there. So the trick to it's going to be getting the ears spacing right, which I think is 8 inches between the ears. Getting that right up here without losing my spacing this way. Yeah, that's going to be a trick right there. Magnets are so handy, but they're a pain to work with. And now I can't check the distance with my calipers. I don't think they moved, but I guess what I'll do is just put a couple little tacks down here at the bottom to keep it from moving. And I'll just measure again. So what I decided to do was just do one side at a time and move my magnet up to the top, because I got to looking, and these two pieces of angle iron that somebody had welded on in the past, they're not level this way, so that would have threw my ears off, which it really don't matter, because as long as I get these bushings squared up is what really counts. So I've got this side perfect right here, so I'm going to tack it in place, and then I'll check my measurements again, and then I'll move and do the other side. Check that one more time. So it didn't move, so I think we're going to be okay. Okay. Let me get this one tacked in here. I don't know why I'm worried about these measurements so much. They're not going to matter. So. See, this moved when I welded it, so I should have welded me a piece across here, which I'll bump it back over, and then I'm going to weld a piece across it so they don't move. So that should keep them from moving, you know, from side to side, and keep them straight. So next thing I need to do is get these the right distance apart. I think that's good as it's going to get for an old piece of junk bucket like this. You know, it's fairly straight, and the measurements are right, so that's all I can do. You know, like I was saying earlier, this bucket's been welded on and cut on and added to, and parts off of this bucket and parts off of that bucket. That's why I call it Frank. So, you know, there's only so much you can do for it. So I'm going to throw some weld on this thing and Hope it stays in place. I know I've told y'all before, but I hate welding gloves. Hopefully that'll keep it from shifting left and right. See, I'm getting down into that, whatever's down in this area here. You couldn't cut it with the torch, and you seen when I hit it with the welder, it started turning orange. So I really think somebody tried to weld this up with cast iron rods right here, because it's just not acting right. So I guess all I can do is just fill in the gap here and then weld the ears up there. I'll just have to ignore that down there. You see what that did again? I'm pretty sure that's cast iron rod in there. So I'll just have to weld down to it and just ignore it. So I'm gonna just keep welding on this thing and get it done, and then I'll come back to you when I'm done with it. Well, there it is, all welded up. I think I'm gonna call that done. It welded up pretty good and nothing moved, so that's a good thing. But I had some problems down in here. I got it to fill in, but man, it threw some sparks off and it just flamed up real orange. So I'm not real sure what was happening there, but it turned out good. It's a lot better than it was. I wish my welds would have looked a little bit better, but it's all right. It ain't going to come off. I'm going to leave those braces on the top until it cools down. I'll let it set overnight, and I'll put the bucket on tomorrow. I'm really needing this bucket, so I'll get this thing on there and try it out and see what happens. Well, it's the next day and it's all cooled down now, so I'm going to cut these braces off that I welded on to keep it from warping, and hopefully after a while sometime I'll go up and put this thing on the excavator. I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, anything's better than it was. I'm gonna put some paint on this top part. There's no point in painting the whole thing, but all this new fresh metal, I wanted to put a little bit of paint on it. Okay, I'll go up the house when we leave here, and if you want, just follow me up there and I'll give you that.
I'm gonna buy me one of them Milwaukee ones this weekend, I believe.
Well, that one I've got's a DeWalt, so.
Oh, DeWalt makes one?
Mm-hmm.
I wish Cobalt made one, because I got a bunch of Cobalt batteries already.
I think they do have a Cobalt.
Oh, that's probably what I'll go
at
buy.
Lowe's.
I already got Cobalt batteries.
Seems like I seen a Cobalt one at Lowe's the other day.
I say it's cheaper anyway.
If you've never had any dealings with any of these Caterpillar quick connects for the smaller equipment, the one pin on the bucket, the front one or top one, whatever you want to call it, it hooks in right here, and then it's got these jaws right here that clip around the other one. But this one here normally is the one that wears out. It's a little bit softer metal than this is right here. This is pretty hard stuff. But when I was talking about people, you know, building these up, welding them up, you know, to tighten it up, that's right here's what I'm talking about. And I'm probably gonna have to do this one because you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of worn down right in here. And that's what causes the bucket to flop around on all these things. But like I said, even if they're in real good shape, they still have some slack in them. So I'm gonna try to get that bucket put on here. I'm gonna see if I can pick it up out of the back of the truck. I don't know if I can do it without tearing everything all to pieces or not, but should be able to. Yeah, that's a lot better than it was, but I can tell right now this side over here is worn a lot more than this side for some reason. You can watch it, see how it moves right there? It's moving over here on this side. So later on, I'll take the bucket back off and I'll run some weld beads across there and tighten that back up. But you know, like I said, it's it's a whole lot better than it was. I can live with that right now, but I'll fix it up a little bit better later on. I've just got to get this thing back to work. I've got a lot to do. So I'm going to end this video now. It's getting pretty long. I've got a whole SD card plumb full of video, and it's going to take a lot to pick and choose what I'm going to use. And You know, if you guys will check out the rest of my videos and like and subscribe and share, it really helped my channel out. But until next time, we'll see you later.